Today's video is sponsored by the lovely people over at AOA.com. If you're looking for a couple million runes, a shiny new weapon, or some fancy equipment, AOA has got you covered. Better yet, use code EXPLOITS when you check out for 3% off your order. So a few people have covered this, but I feel like making the jump to get into the right spot isn't covered in depth enough. So that's what we're going to do. I'll go over the whole process, then when we get to the jump, you'll get some more info. So beating Malenia in Elden Ring feels impossible. She's got range, she's got Scarlet Rot, she's got whatever the hell that is. But have no fear, fellow Elden Ring players. Elden Ringers? This is some of the stinkiest cheese that will reduce Malenia into a laughably easy boss. But remember, once you hear that enemy failed noise, come back and hit that sub button. So step 1, this fight will go a lot smoother if you prep everything you need. And be sure to take away any extra items so you haven't got to mess around with scrolling through a million things. So here's what you'll need. Egil's Flame Incantation from the Dragon Altar. You can get it from defeating Egil. You won't need this, but I'd recommend getting Bloodhound Step just so you can stay out of her way during certain parts of the fight. Then for melee players, you'll want the Falling Star Beast Jaw. You can get that from the boss fight here. And magic users, go and grab the Swarm of Flies incantation. I'd really recommend everybody use Swarm of Flies. It shreds through Malenia's health, and you can get that from here. You'll need your strongest summon, some chunky armor, and finally, you'll need a good shield, one with 100% physical damage negation. 2, now that that's out of the way, head into the boss room and Bloodhound Step around Malenia. She'll start to run at you, but she won't really commit to it straight away. It's probably because she's exhausted from all the other times she's had to kill you. Once you get past her, it's time for jumping into the cheese spot. So this is what it looks like. Take a good hard look at it. Now this is the part you need to be going up. Burn this image into your brain. And now that you know where you're going, here is how you do it. Approach that part I mentioned before and walk at it slowly. You can do this a bit faster, but I recommend doing it super slow and carefully. Don't sprint at it and definitely don't jump at it because it just won't work. Take it slow, you've still got time. Like I said, Malenia's knackered from all that fighting from before. When you reach the top, jump at the platform and quickly use Egil's Flame. This will lift you slightly higher and plop you on top of the platform. Side note here, if you don't do the spell quick enough, you'll be stuck in a floating animation for about 60 seconds and then you'll die. 3. You can now lock on to Malenia, get your shield out and your weapon of choice and just spam her with them. For the melee players, obviously you'll have to use the special move for the jaw. So there are 2 moves that Malenia can still hit you with, but that's what the shield is for. The first move is that stupid spinny attack. She jumps in the air and freezes for a few seconds first, so you will know that that's coming. The second is the 6th move of a slow combo, where she ends it with an overhead slash. This is very easily blocked by a shield. Side note again, you can interrupt both of these moves if you're spamming Swarm of Flies. Step 4. You're likely now close to finishing Malenia off, so quickly replenish any health and FP you have missing. If it's safe to do so, switch your shield out, get your summon ready, and just as she's about to take that last bit of damage, switch out to your weapon that has Bloodhound Step. 5. Now you've kicked her ass, the cutscene will begin. Watch it, skip it, I don't care. So annoyingly, the cutscene resets everything and you'll be back on the ground. On top of this, Malenia is about to do the ultimate move and it will almost certainly one-shot you. The only upside here is if you spammed her with Swarm of Flies, she will have actually lost a chunk of health during the cutscene. Although it sounds like it, this video is not sponsored by Swarm of Flies. It's just a very useful spell. So once you've skipped the cutscene or watched it, you'll still be locked onto her, so immediately unlock. And then Bloodhound Step away and keep doing it until she hits the ground. From here, Malenia has to take some time to recover, which is the perfect opportunity to summon in your Ash summon. I went with Luteal the Headless just because they phase in and out, meaning they take a lot less damage, but they still keep the aggro. You can also just as easily have a friend or 2 join you for this fight, and you can do this cheese while they take the aggro. 6. Keep Bloodhound stepping around until you are certain that Malenia's attention has been diverted. From here, get back into the spot from before. 7. Annoyingly, each time your summon or friend gets hit, Malenia will gain some health. but that's nothing compared to the damage you're inflicting. Then step 8, if your summon or friend isn't doing their job properly, Malenia will occasionally be underneath you trying to ruin your day. Although you've only got to worry about the same moves from before, so you should be fine. However, if she's alive for long enough, Malenia will do the exploding flower move that again can near enough one-shot players, especially as it inflicts Scarlet Rot. Hopefully she'll aim this at your friends, but if you're unfortunate enough to have her do it near you, you're going to have to jump down, Bloodhound step around until your friend can divert attention, and then climb back up. After a while doing this cheese, Malenia will be defeated. Boom. Sponsored by Swarm of Flies.